second feed of the day. Just listen to some really nice, chill music while Uber announced their Q2 results. Very mixed, very, very poor performance on the rideshare side, pretty good performance on the Uber Eats side, right? So welcome you to the Rideshare Professor Show. I always report on Q1, 2, 3, and 4. Obviously, let me just get rid of this. I don't need this in the studio anymore, but I highly encourage everyone to wear one of these. Also done with the music, so we can take that off for now. Welcome, everyone. I hope you're safe. I hope your families are doing well. And the financial world, anyone sort of following Uber stock, Lyft stocks, they've been waiting for this. So without doubt, that second quarter, Uber got pounded. I mean, literally, rideshare evaporated. There were no drivers getting out there. It tanked 73%. Now, because of these sort of mixed results, at one stage it went up to 34.71. The results came out, and boom, went down, 3.6 to 4% down to 33.45. My guess is might get a little bit of a rebound, because it's always like how the companies sell their Q2s, right? How and Dara seems to be pretty good at this, sort of leading the financial world on that everything's going to be okay. We're doing fine. We're getting out of this. But look, the facts speak for themselves on this one. No doubt about it. Let's just tune in briefly to this gentleman's little take here. What does he say?
Uber shares were down about 2.85% after earnings. We're going to give you the results before we get into the analysis a little bit. Revenue came in at $2.2 billion versus estimates of $2 billion. Actual result down 29% year over year. Obviously, the pandemic killing the rides business. Gross bookings total came in at $10.2 billion. Missing estimates of $10.5 billion, down 35% year over year. Rides gross bookings missed. Each gross bookings at $6.96 billion versus $6.6 billion estimated, growing 106% year over year. Food from home, and that is a growth business accelerated right now, we think. Rides revenue missed at $790 million, and each revenue beat at $1.2 billion versus expectations of $996 million. Loss per share $1 versus estimates of a loss per share of 86 cents. So on the profitability, the operating leverage was not there. It was a really, really rough quarter. We knew that. The stock was down about 6% from June 8th into earnings, but trading at a little over 3 times 2021 revenue estimates, which isn't incredibly expensive, but it's not cheap. So what management said was basically, we didn't do a great job. We had obviously a rough Q2 on ride sharing. Thank God we had the delivery business to save us there, and that was the theme. Other than that, there wasn't much else providing optimism on the ride-sharing business, although we do know that the declines there are going to be less so in Q3. But right now, the stock just kind of where it is and down a little bit.
So, I mean, the guy says something at the end that says it's going to be better in Q3. How do you know that? I mean, now you have peak pandemic numbers, right? This guy isn't dialed into street level. This guy hasn't spoken to drivers, right? So I find it quite astounding how a guy like this can come out and say, hey, you know what? The third quarter will obviously be better. I mean, if we look at third quarter, which starts literally now, if we look at the results, there's maybe a few more drivers driving out there, but a lot of these passengers, riders have transitioned. They've moved on, right? They're not going to be jumping in an Uber and Lyft. I welcome Leo Casamento. He says, I feel so bad for Dara and company. Sarcasm, not. Absolutely with you on that one, my friend. Total gross bookings missed estimates with rides now called mobility. bookings down 73% last quarter due to the pandemic. Uber shares were falling in after-hours trading. Let's go to that for 1 second there quickly. What is that looking like? Down 3.8% after hours, right? Uber shares were falling in after-hours trading after the ride-hailing firm posted mixed results for the second quarter, the first that overlapped completely with the COVID-19 pandemic in the United States. For the quarter ending in June, Uber reported total gross bookings of $10.2 billion, down 35% year over year, and lower than an analyst consensus of $10.5 billion. Its total GAAP revenues came in at $2.24 billion, higher than the $2.1 billion consensus, but it reported a loss of $1.02 per share versus an expected loss of 89 cents, so quite a bit higher. Shares were down 2%. They're actually down 4% right now after hours. They rose briefly to 4.6 during the day's trading sessions. The company said that starting in Q2, its ride segment will be named, again, all this confusion. I'm sure it has to do about the fact that they like to dig themselves out of all the legal problems, but now they've changed this word to mobility, right? That ride segment now will be called mobility. And it's each segment dubbed delivery. So mobility and delivery, those are their two new big buzzwords: Uber Mobility, Uber Delivery. Gross mobility bookings were down 73%, right? It always said 70 to 80%, so spot on there, right? And this we were talking about back in March already, March, April, May. They're down 70 to 80%. There it is, 73% to $3 billion in Q2, while delivery bookings were up 122% to $7 billion in the same period. Our team continues to move at Uber speed to respond to the pandemic's impact on our communities and on our business, leading our industry forward with new products and safety technologies. Do tell us about those safety technologies. We as drivers know that very, very, very little has been done for the safety of drivers and the safety of riders during the pandemic. In fact, they allowed pool trips to go so far into COVID, getting so many people sick before they pulled pool, right? And PPE, everyone should know this. The public should know this. The PPE wasn't there. Promise would come next week, in a month's time. The PPE never arrived. In fact, Lyft, who only recently started selling PPE, this free PPE that drivers were supposed to get so that they could also keep their riders safe, never arrived. So, you know, this statement here by Dara, or whoever it is, yeah, this is actually Dara Khosrowshahi, saying that new products and safety technologies, us drivers, show us. We haven't seen anything in the Department of Safety, right? And harnessing the strong tailwinds, driving exceptional growth in delivery with gross bookings growing. See, he wants to concentrate on the bigger numbers, 122% year over year, excluding exited markets, said Uber, Dara Khosrowshahi in a statement. We are fortunate to have both a global footprint and such a natural hedge across our two core segments. As some people stay closer to home, more people are ordering from Uber Eats than ever before. So obviously a strategy of a CEO. Let's not talk about the negatives. Let's not talk about mobility, not even brought up here. Let's just talk about delivery. And delivery, food deliveries, with mobility delivery being the food deliveries, they are now saying, okay, it's up 122%. Let's make that the main talking point. Uber CFO, Chief Financial Officer Nelson Chai, said that the company's aggressive cost-cutting measures will allow it to achieve profitability on an adjusted EBITDA basis before the end of 2021. I don't see that happening. And the reason why I say I don't see that happening, we're on 155,000 deaths. COVID ain't slowing down. The rideshare segment is still dried up for them. So I'm wondering how he wants to achieve profitability by the end of 2021. Ain't happening, folks. Tesla Tom's in the house. Top of the day to you, my friend. Good to see you. Hope you and your familia are doing well out there. And thank you for your email. I appreciate that. I love his title, Tesla Tom. It says a lot. I mean, you might be a big Tesla fan. Tesla is also a very powerful metal. So Tesla Tom, to me, signifies Tesla strong, right? So its total net loss for the quarter was 1.8 billion, which includes 131 million in stock-based compensation expense and 382 million in restructuring and related charges, right? So right now, we're 4% down, right? They just got hit with the news that the labor commissioner in California sued Uber and Lyft, right? That doesn't go very well. The other negative news on top of this weak Q2 news, Anthony Lewandowski, the Uber executive, 18 months jail, files a $4 billion lawsuit against Uber. That on the heels already of Javier Becerra, the attorney general, filing a lawsuit. Massachusetts filing the lawsuit. Them still not looking good in the UK market, in the UK Supreme Court, that going on. So there's not really much going for Uber at the moment. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to repeat this, and I'm going to repeat this in many videos. If you have not, and it's slightly off topic, but if you have not gone to Cova, what is that? www.cova.ai. Go tune in there. This company has really made an effort to plug all the holes, all the unknowns, all the dangerous issues that gig workers, not just drivers, not just Uber and Lyft drivers, but all the gig workers could face. Great company. I fully endorse them, Cova.ai. Now, the other article that I'd like to read on the heels of this announcement of this week, Q2 at TechCrunch, without doubt the best tech blog out there, resource for the tech world. Uber shares dropped 4%. This one's by Kirsten Korosek. Is she on the money? It's completely on the money. 4%, 4.03 right now. Right now, it was just 3.95, so going down. Trend right now is going down. So she's on the money there. Uber shares drop 4% after it loses more money than expected in Q2. So the ridership, mobility, as they call it now, down 73%, right? Abstract Echo Jimmy's in the house. He says, hello, everyone. Congratulations to you, Professor, and Laura. Thank you. I announced yesterday in social media that we are tying the knot on August the 29th. That is my wonderful bride-to-be. She looks the splitting image of the lady in Game of Thrones. What's that lady's name? That one that flies on the dragon. Honestly, I get asked all the time if that's her. But what is that chick called on GOT, Game of Thrones? That's what she looks like. Today, after the bell, American ride-hailing giant Uber released its second quarter results, the company revenue fell compared to both the year-ago quarter to 2019 and the sequentially preceding period, Q1 2020. Investors had anticipated Uber's declines due to COVID-19, and the company had spent time earlier this year assuring the investing public that it had enough cash to get through 2020 no matter what. So the only thing that really saved them is the food delivery business. They would have been in bad shape did they not have Uber Eats division, right? And probably a very smart move getting Postmates. They missed out on Grubhub. We have Nifty 50's life in the house. He goes, dang, congratulations, Prof. I'm happy for you guys. I appreciate that wonderful message. I hope you and your family on doing great and that you're staying safe, doing everything. Leo, Jimmy, all the other 12 people in the house, smash that like button, please. All the Wall Street people, financial people interested following the stock price, if you do come across my video, you always have to hear the two sides to the story. A coin has two sides. So if Dara tries to sell you the glamorous story, right, and if this chai guy, the CFO, tries to tell you they're going to be profitable by the end of 2021, or by 2021, I think he even said, I don't think so, right? Tris says, congrats on whatever it was. I'll take it. I'll take the congratulations. Thank you. So in the second quarter, Uber saw gross bookings of 10.2 billion, off 35% compared to the year-ago period. This resulted in revenue of 2.24 billion, down 29% from a year ago, result of 3.17 billion. Uber's net loss was 1.78 billion in the second quarter of 2020, down from a year ago's net loss of 5.24 billion. The company went public last year, resulting in various one-time non-cash costs. So that when you hear that massive figure of 5.24 billion, that is because they obviously paid out a lot of money. A lot of people cashed in after the IPO. So that 5.24 billion, I mean, you're not going to see those figures again, right? That was just a one-time thing. Now, the company's net loss worked out to a loss of $1.02 per share, ahead of analysts' expected 86 cents per share deficit. Uber missed on profitability in the quarter, but did surpass street expectations on top line, posting more revenue than the 2.18 billion figure investors expected. Shares of Uber are off a little more than 4% in after-hours trading following its earnings report. Actually, let's jump over to that quickly. Let's see where that is. Okay, got a little bit better. After hours now, it was 4% earlier, down to 3.28%, right? So we shall see how that one behaves. Now back to the article. A Q1 retrospective. Let's take a look at how the financials stack up compared to the first quarter of 2020. In short, not well. Remember, Q1, they didn't feel the full brunt of the storm of the pandemic, right? It was sort of halfway through Q1, boom, hit them. Numbers started going down. Q2, they felt the full impact, Hurricane 5 of the pandemic, 73% down on rideshare, which they call mobility. Uber Eats saved them. Postmates may have saved them. But the company, ladies and gentlemen, was built around rideshare. A lot of that has evaporated. A lot of those passengers have moved on, bought their own cars, gone back to their old cars that they own, back in behind their own driver wheel, versus jumping into Ubers and Lyfts with random people. Uber reported a Q1 per share loss of $1.70 on revenues of 3.54 billion. The company lost 2.94 billion in the first quarter, counting all costs. As noted above, Uber's per share loss in the second quarter fell to $1.02, while its revenue slipped to 2.24 billion. Uber's top line therefore dipped 36.7% compared to the first quarter. 36.7% dip southwards, right? And I don't see any stopping there, right? I mean, it might sort of flatten out 35%, but the pandemic's still in full swings. The deaths are still continuing. The fear still continues, right? The masks are still being worn. Kids are not going back to school, right? So a lot of people are working from home. So before that bounces back up, that, my friends, is a huge, huge, huge unknown factor. We have no answers to that question right now. When will normality set in? when will COVID end, right? So I find it astounding that the CFO makes these bold statements. Oh, we're going to be profitable by this and this date. Buddy, you have no clue when this COVID is under control, right? So welcome to the real world, Nelson Chai, Mr. Executive, right? Digging deeper, Uber generated $737 million in ride-hailing trips in the second quarter, compared to 1.66 billion in the first 3-month period of this year. Gross bookings were also down more than 35% from 15.78 billion in the first quarter compared to the second. There was some rosier news buried in this blizzard of numbers. I called it a hurricane. Uber's Freight and Eats, which is now called Delivery. Business lost money, although losses narrowed from Q1 to Q2. Uber reported that adjusted EBITDA on its delivery segment narrowed to a 232 million loss in the second quarter compared to a larger 330 million loss in the first period of the year. So the losses in Uber Eats are coming down, probably because they've sold off some segments of Uber Eats that were just not functioning, where they weren't the leader in that particular market, especially overseas markets. They're now really going back and concentrating on the US and trying to get those numbers down. And at the same time, I also feel that the Uber executive team, and they've been sued for this, took complete advantage over restaurants. So they upped the share that they were taking away from restaurants. They were cutting and trimming wherever they could in Q2. Restaurants were not happy about this, right? Drivers were not earning the same, right? They were not being given hazard pay. I mean, there wasn't really too much of an incentive to go out there as a driver, although some were doing very, very well, but there wasn't the greatest incentive for a driver to go out with Uber Eats. A changing business. Uber's quarter was a period of change compared to the year-ago quarter. The company's delivery business, formerly its Uber Eats segment, saw its adjusted net revenue soar 162% compared to a year-ago quarter. So a changing business, yes. Every business right now is changing, adapting. Otherwise, you die. If you don't adapt, you die. So every business owner, every CEO, no matter what business you're in, you're being tested. Some are doing better than others. Look at Jeff Bezos. Look at, Domino's Pizza, for example. Through the roof. Ride-hailing, once a key driver of profitability at the company, only generated 50 million in adjusted EBITDA in Q2, a heavily amended profit metric. That figure was off by 465 million compared to a year ago, and off 531 million compared to Q1 2020. Wow. So that's a whopping there in Q2. James Rizzuti's in the house. Uber rides are less than 10% of former rides here in Dallas for me. So you back out there, James, by the sounds of things. You're saying that it's just 10% of what it was. So you're telling me it's down 90%. How are your earnings doing? That's what I'd like to know. Tris says, anybody having problems with EDD in California, contact Labor Board, email at labor.ca.gov. They are assisting with EDDs slacking. Very good to know. Very, very, very good to know. Let me just, is it that what the email is? Email at labor. Is that the email there? Is this it here? If I can write it out again. Email at labor.ca.gov. Can you, IQ boy is in the house. Hi, everyone. Hope you are healthy and happy. 2 great, positive, uplifting words. We appreciate them. Healthy and happy. Couldn't have said it better. Hope everyone, not only is the drivers, not only the riders, everyone that comes across this video, we should truly wish everyone health, and happiness, right? It's a great, great message during these tough and challenging times. Here's Dara again, my good friend, Dara Koshashawi, my real good friend, Dara Koshashawi. Our mobility recovery is clearly dependent on the public health situation in any given area. CEO Dara Koshashawi said during the Q2 earnings call, Asia and India is in the recovery. We've seen gross bookings in Hong Kong and New Zealand at times exceed pre-COVID highs, and European trends have also been encouraging. And he did mention a couple of countries there. I want to bring them up again. I get hammered sometimes by trolls for bringing up Europe, for bringing up Hong Kong, for bringing up New Zealand. Listen, they've shown us the way. They've shown us how to put a lid on COVID, right? If we do not follow in their footsteps, if we do not implement strategy by strategy, exactly duplicating what they are doing, we're still going to be facing this in 2021, and we will be well over 200,000 deaths, right? Every governor, every state, the White House, Trump, the administration should be reaching out to New Zealand, Germany, Europe, Hong Kong, and saying, please share with us, help us with your formula. Otherwise, this is going to be a shit show, and nobody's going to be making money. We're going to have even more people out on the street, and we're going to have even a weaker economy if we don't put the freaking lid on it, right? So meanwhile, the US recovery is lagging. That's what Koshashawi says. And this is pretty much already a shit show. It is a shit show, right? But how do you end the shit show? How do you pull the curtains on a shit show, James? See, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for some help here. Hit the like button, everyone. I mean, how do we end the shit show? Meanwhile, the US recovery is lagging. The company's global geographic footprint remains a huge advantage. Koshashawi noted, he added that once cities do reopen, trips bounce back sharply, right? While ride-hailing lost ground, the rising revenue footprint of Uber's delivery business posted slimmer losses than in the year ago and sequentially preceding quarter. So naturally, those declines are largely outside of Uber's control, but they do show the sharp impact that the global pandemic and ensuing shuttering of many economies had on the 2019 IPO. Uber closed the period with cash equivalents, and short-term investments of $7.8 billion. That figure was $9 billion at the year end. So I remember them announcing this $9 billion, and we said, wow, they're going to burn through this $9 billion very quick. You know, if they don't do something drastic, what they did, probably the most drastic measures that they probably took is that they literally cut their workforce, right? Another very unethical move, which I know is going to have a lot of legal repercussions here, was the way they freed up all the marketing dollars that they owed to thousands and thousands and thousands of drivers by just overnight cutting them off from all the referrals, all the open referrals, all the monies owed. There's one guy up in San Francisco who's owed $1.5 million in referral dollars. So, you know, some very questionable tactics there by Dara, who is also called Travis 2.0. James Rizzuti says only a very weak progressing recovery subject to further black swan events. Thank you. IQ boy, this country is a shit show and the government goes on vacation, right? So the Senate is leaving tomorrow, maybe with, maybe without a deal, right? But where are their priorities? I mean, if you're making so much money, if you're handing yourself So many loans. If you're handing your cronies so much money, don't worry about the masses. Don't worry about the citizens. As long as we are taken care of, it's sickening, my friends. It is sickening. You could get gray hairs over that. Damn, look at this, folks. I just finished 2 coffees back to back. Wow, a lot of caffeine. No wonder I'm flying over here. So let's see. Let's go back to, it's down to 3%. Not bad. It was down 4%. It's down 3% right now, right? So at 33.67. So it's strange how that stock price behaves. It sort of hovers between 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 34, 33, 32. It's like boom, 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 boom. Wants to go, can't go, just gets a little bit of positivity, slapped down by another few lawsuit stories. So, Dara, what are you doing there? See, Whatso 8 says deal or no deal. Let's go to the banker. And your point is, ... Please let us know the conclusion of your message there. I'd love to know. The politicians are still getting paid, so they're not motivated to help the people in need, says Abstract Echo. James Rizzuti says, appreciate your fronting our perspective as driving corps. Unfortunately, this is nearly impossible situation. Iluta Hilaire is in the house. She says, hi, sorry I missed you right over there. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. No deal means they don't care. Appreciate you concluding that and letting us know. I agree with you. I agree with you. There's just no care, right? There is no care. As long as you get your patents for your own family and take care of your own business interests and make sure you assign your loans to your own businesses and your cronies' business so that little group can grow together. You don't really care about the people on the bottom. And I'm not saying we're the bottom feeders. We're definitely not the bottom feeders. I don't see myself as a bottom feeder, right? But I see myself sort of as a middle player. But the light's not on us, right? All the energy, all the focus is on them, the little echelon on the top, self-enrichment, a business model as we know it in China, a business model as we know it in Russia, and sadly also now a business model that we see here in the United States. Just those few people on top and that small little inner circle taking care of each other versus the rest. I also can tell you firsthand, having lived on the African continent, having traveled nearly all of the African countries on the African continent, that the very few people on the top take care of themselves, their families, and their cronies. The rest live in poverty. So, Europe, not so much. Countries that I've traveled where I do truly see a lot of distribution, a lot of, caring for, and a strong middle class, obviously also upper class, smaller, lower class in Europe, Denmark, for instance, Sweden, Norway, Germany, Holland, Belgium, really, really take care of their people. They really do. Sure, the taxes are high, but man, quality of lifestyle is good, and the infrastructure is good, right? IQ Boy says, we will remember 2020, who cared or not, we will vote. I will make my damnedest that I go out and vote. I will encourage a lot of people in those last 2 weeks to go and vote, right? Because change to our postal system, trying to change mail-in voting, which has taken place forever. In fact, our president even did mail-in voting, but now because he's down, it doesn't suit him, so he's changing the system. It is a shit show. It is sad what is happening, right? I just hope that whoever comes into power, that we actually start caring, right, about all people again. I really do, because the fat cat getting fatter is not working for me. What life have for us, the crisis show who is who and who have or who has not. Very well said. Very, very well said. The crisis shows who is who and who has and who has not. It is what it is, as Trump says. It is what it is. No, it's not. It isn't what it is. It is what you made. It is what you could have potentially stopped. It is what you could have potentially changed. I'm not buying this. It is what it is. I'm not taking ownership of that brand. For me, it is not. It is what it is. I don't have that attitude. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. It isn't what it is. It is scary. It could have been done 10 times more better. And if you're not doing it right now, if you're not actively trying everything right now, don't come to me in 1 month or 2 months' time and say it is what it is. Because it ain't is what it is. Play of words there. 17 people in the house, 11 likes. Thank you. Gracias. Dankeschön. Spasiba. Merci. Grazie. So yeah, what are we looking at? We are looking at down 3.02%. Well, who knows? Could open tomorrow. Maybe, maybe Wall Street says, well, let's put Q2 aside. Let's pretend it's getting better. Tesla Tom says, it's whatever you make it to be. Which is true. It's what you make out of the current situation. I like it. It's how you approach today and tomorrow, right? You can make a change in whatever way. You have the power to make that change. Collectively, we have a lot of power to make a big, big change. But I would agree, if we could start with Tesla Tom's thinking, it's whatever you make it to be, right? It's how you handle a situation, right? If 2020 were a meme, it would be an old guy tumbling down a long flight of stairs. That's not a pretty sight. What a life has for us, Torsten. This is Romeo. I changed my YouTube channel because I'm starting my channel slowly. I put some videos in my channel. I'm starting to figure out this YouTube. So can we click on your channel right now? That one? You've loaded up a couple of videos? If so, hopefully we can send some people your way during this feed. Go and have a look at his channel. What life have for us? Isn't it what life has for us or what life have for us? Just make sure you get the right wording there. IQ Boy says, not taxation without representation, ? Cool. So what life have for us says yes. So I will go and check out your channel later, and hopefully many others will subscribe to you. We are going down, which means after hour tradings is getting better. It was down 4%. It's sort of softened to 2.74%, meaning it's coming back slightly. Dara's breathing again. His respiratory is kicked on again, so he's getting oxygen in his lungs. This is what Dara needs urgently. I mean, remember, they have $7 billion or so in their treasure chest, right? Burning through each day. Q2 was horrible. So we have 16 people in the house. I welcome you all. We have 14 likes. Hopefully we can smash another 2 likes out there to get it balanced out. 16. We have 15. One person dropped out. We have 2 live feeds going on at the same time, simultaneously, doubling up our efforts. My tip to you, and listen up, take some notes, what life has for us. As you creating your video topics, as you are filming yourself, as you are getting those videos ready, make sure that your title, your description, and especially focus on your keywords, right? So when I say focus on your keywords, people will generally, like, let's say, put Uber, comma, Lyft, comma, rideshare, comma, Uber tips, comma, Uber help. Guess what, buddy? You can fit 25 different keywords there, comma separated. So you really need to focus on your keywords, because keywords are what people put in on Google. Keywords are what people put in on YouTube. Could be a single word, could be a double word, right? Could be a triple word. Santa Monica homes, Santa Monica real estate for sale, Santa Monica realty, 3 words, right? So, or Tarzana houses, 2 words, or just 1 word, houses for sale. You got to really, really focus on your keywords. Catchy titles, a description that hopefully takes them into all the areas that you monetize, have all your links in, right? Another link that I'm going to be adding to my 8,000 plus videos, I have about 8,400 videos in 8 channels, is my relationship with Cova.ai. I was brought on their marketing team as one of the influencers. I think they have about 15 to 10 influencers on their team. We got paid. And I only come on board and endorse a product once I feel it, see it, understand it, and can sell it, right? You're just going to give me some arbitrary product that I don't think is going to fly. Why would I put my name behind that? So as you build out your channel, what life have for us, I think you could change it to what life has for us. Has for us. What does it have for us now? I don't know, we'd have to see. So C Watso8 says Uber CEO Dara Khoshawi's salary and total compensation 45 million. It's disgusting, right? Still, during COVID pandemic times, still $45 million. That's the wrong message here, folks. IQ Boy says, who received private rides from Uber? I got 1 request yesterday, but I had not driven over 5 months. Interesting. Very interesting. So where are we right now? We're down at 2.74%. I will also share the link to the TechCrunch article, which I think was great. It was written by Alex Wilhelm and Kirsten Korosek. We want to give them credit, these 2 editors. TechCrunch, by the way, you'll see this little logo, TC. The website is TECH. I'll put it down here. Guys, if you want to really get up-to-date, great stories from the tech world, they're fantastic. I love them. Thank you for the 17 likes, my friends. I hope you are all doing your part. I did a funny video early on, because right in my hood here in Calabasas, Jake Paul, you might know him, the YouTuber, very controversial character, 23 years old. All the FBI moved into, truck after truck after truck, loaded, heavily armed people rolled through Calabasas to Jake Paul's mansion. I don't believe he was there. They found a lot of rifles, guns. It's still under seal with the judges. We don't know the true story, but I've read up about this guy, and my kids tell me, and teenagers tell me, he's a bad influence. He swears. He's trash, man. Jake, I call him fake Jake Paul, is trash. Don't follow that. I don't know how he could mislead 20 million YouTube subscribers, and he started this, I think, Team 10 back in 2017. I think he got $1 million funding. 10 people in his house, and they were all recording and broadcasting. Well, all 10 of them moved on. And they just said he's the biggest bully and manipulator. In a matter of 1.5 years, he married a girl and had another girlfriend. They both left him. So this dude seriously needs to go back and take a look at his life, because everything that I see from fake Jake Paul, that he is screaming, he's crying for attention. And good riddance. I hope they flush him out of Calabasas. People are sick and tired of him bangs, explosions going off at night. I mean, they're doing crazy stuff behind those walls. He pissed off the mayor. I think the name is Wine Tribe or something in Calabasas. He threw a massive party. All the people were not wearing masks. It was a shit show over there. They went out, they're going to infect a lot of other people. And there's like, that's it, they had enough. So my guess is someone in Calabasas that had power, flexed the muscle, called the right guys, and whoop, FBI moved in, raided his home. And we shall see. This is just 24 hours ago, right here. Jake Paul, you can look him up. Jake Paul is a big YouTuber. He has a brother called Logan Paul. Did a little bit of research on the guy. He used to be with Disney in a channel called Bizarre Fark, and then they kicked him out because he became way too controversial. And then he started his whole YouTube movement. So, Prof, wave that again. You can talk about it. Wave it again. Wave it again. Just wave it one more time. Wave it one more time. And this is not a bra, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a bra. It's not a triple 38 double B bra. This is a mask. This is a mask. It's not a lingerie. This is a mask. Here it is. Oh my God, look what I had. I had these, somebody literally stole my coffee espresso beans. Hey kids, anybody eat my espresso beans? Silence. Nobody's taking. Nobody. Yeah. I ate your espresso beans. No. All right, my friends. So yeah, we'll keep it there. Payment Ali is in the house in the other channel. I see him there. I acknowledge you. Thank you for keeping the pressure up. Thank you, buddy. He's an amazing guy. I've met him in Vegas. Amazing guy. And I like Payment Ali's approach to life. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I have tremendous respect for Payment Ali. Tremendous respect. I call him a friend and a subscriber. He's in Vegas. It's because Payman asks the right type of questions. He questions everything. He's not going to just take what I say, which I like, right? He's not going to say, he will have disagreements with me. He will argue with me. He will sell me on his points, right? And that's how you grow together, It's not always that you challenge each other, right? But you complement each other, you challenge each other, you agree with each other, you can disagree with each other. That's the type of character he is, right? He truly has the ability to bring out the best in others and the best to himself, because he doesn't just settle for anything, right? His brain works on a very, very, I'm just paying you a huge compliment here, on a very, very, very high level. I can just sense it energetically on a very, very, very high level. I appreciate him. I respect him. And I'm really grateful that he actually came out all the way from Vegas to our Long Beach party, right? Just to join in with the forces and keep the fight alive, keep the pressure going, keep on asking the tough questions. I hope you're listening, Payman. If not, I'm sure you'll come back to the video later. I'll give you another shout out, but another fantastic character who's really dialed in. James Campbell's in the house. He says, evening you all. My guess is if you say you're evening, you're probably a few hours ahead. It's 4:22 p.m. here. So my guess is it's 7:23 on your side. Tris says, have a good afternoon. Be safe again. Congratulations. Thank you. And when Tris says congrats, it's because maybe people don't know this, but I did announce on my social media channels that this girl here, August 29th, we tie the knot, August 29th, right? And that's like literally the splitting image of that Game of Thrones girl that flies on that dragon, the mother of the dragons. That's, I even bought her a shirt like that. See, there she is there. She's like the splitting image of GOT, Game of Thrones. Yeah, gifts are emojis. Just send emojis. And find me on Facebook. Befriend me on Facebook so we can check out each other's world. It's interesting, Facebook, how you can learn so much about people. Don't you think so? Don't you think by looking at someone's Facebook channel, you get to really learn a lot about them? Wouldn't you agree? Sorry, I've got to just reply here quickly. I'm not one of the dragons, no. Oh, cool. Another payment came through. Beautiful. That's nice. I like it when Venmo and other websites kick in when you see the money. Tick, tick, tick. Just refresh, money goes up. I like that when payments come in through these other apps. Beautiful. Are you saying you're one of the dragons? No, she's the person that rides those dragons. Those dragons are somewhere around here. Sometimes little kids are little dragons. All right. Played by Vix. Do you own Uber shares? Yeah, not much. Down, still down from where it started off from. Still down a couple of dollars. But I don't really care. Because as long as it gets back to, a lot has happened since they did their IPO. As long as it gets back to that point, that starting point in the 40s, done. Sell, go buy maybe more Amazon stock or more Apple stock. It's not working with Uber. You got to eventually learn that it's just not flying. It's just not flying, right? It's not taking off. But thank you for asking. Played by Vix. And when I say it's not flying, it's the culture. It's the culture of the company. They're never going to get out of their sort of toxic wheel. It's always lawsuit after lawsuit after another lawsuit after. They invite that energy in. Right? They're not willing to change the culture of Uber and Lyft. Ball and chain, nah. I'll haul a ball and chain around for a workout, right? Then unchain it. But nah, we're like best friends. When you best buddies, you don't see your buddy as a ball and a chain. Definitely not. A lot of freedom. She has her kids, I have my kids. We'll get all the kids together. It's a very healthy, symbiotic relationship where you give each other a lot of freedom to express your thing, right? Without pointing fingers and judging and nagging. And no, it's great. It says congratulations. I say thank you. Appreciate it. So cool. Check out, we had somebody else who said they started a YouTube channel early on. Go check out his channel. If you like what you see, go subscribe. Let me check in one final time before I wind this down. We're on the 54-minute mark. Probably we'll get to 60 minutes, then call it a day. We are on 2.91. Early on, it was down 4% after trading. Now it's down 2.91. It's on 33.70. I would have a question to Played by Vix. It's on 33.70 now. Sort of where do you anticipate it being in a week or two? Where do you anticipate it being at the end of the third quarter? Throwing that question out. James Campbell says, I'm sorry for laughing at this stupid topic, but I have to laugh my ass off at my brother and his lighting money on fire. Is he physically lighting on fire? Is just squandering? Tris says, today we're in court seeking to halt Uber and Lyft's misclassification of workers while litigation continues. Uber and Lyft are profiting off their workers' labor while trying to force taxpayers to foot the bill for worker protections. That's not the way we do business in California. Good for you. Good. Justin's Twitter from Javier. Oh, cool. Justin's Twitter about Javier or from Javier? Oh, is that what Javier said? Okay. Cool. I'm all behind Javier Becerra. Use us. Let's be your soldiers. From Javier. Okay. Cool. Oh, I see. Squandering and getting divorced. Yeah, that's, when you have that victim, James, when you have that victim mentality, he may have that. It's a downward spiral. You sabotage yourself. It's a very sad behavior. You can get out of it through a lot of self-growth. You said she gave him 9 years. He didn't perform, right? In the 9 years, still showing the same colors, right? Not showing positive change. So you divorce the person's ass, right? Because you don't want to go spiraling down the toilet with them. No, thank you. That's why I left a toxic 3-year relationship. I did helped a woman build a multi-million dollar sunscreen company. It's huge now. Just busted my ass, put all the effort, and it was such a toxic relationship, all about the one individual. And you try and help, you do good, you perform. And some people, nothing is good enough because they haven't addressed their issues, right? They don't cherish the other individual. And you've got to move on. So wash your hands. Good riddance. Q-Boy says, I've given my wife my paycheck over 20 years and still going to till I die. You're a good man, my friend. You're a good man. Trish says, gotta go COD Call of Duty. Not cash on delivery waiting on me. Have a good one, everyone. You too. You too, Trish. Alrighty, where are we? We're on 58. We got 2 minutos, 2 Minuten, 2 minutes. Countdown. Did anybody see that? I thought it was quite cool. The other day, about a few days ago, did anybody see that SpaceX coming down with all those parachutes and drop into the ocean? Wow. What a sight. They slowed that sucker down like from 17,000 miles per hour right down to 15 miles per hour. Parachute going off, slowing that sucker down. Amazing. Amazing. Then amazing. History being made. Exactly. That was astounding. Technology. I don't know how SpaceX stock. What is it? Let's have a look. Good question. Maybe it's gone up. Maybe it's gone up. I don't see anything. Is it traded? Mike Ozra in the house. God bless you too, my friend. Appreciate you. I really do. Hope you're doing great. I don't see anything on SpaceX here. But I should be doing pretty good. I see Uber is down 2.91 now after trading. All right, my friends. I set myself a challenge that I'd be out there for 60 minutes today. I did it, achieved that goal. Wish you all a fantastic. Is this working? Should be. Let's see, making sure my microphone. Is my microphone on? Oh, should be. Just got to make sure my microphone. Yep. Says it's on. It says it's on. Testing. Do they trade? Is that SpaceX stock being traded? Does anybody know that? Great website. Shared there. Robinhood. Cool story, Robinhood. SPCE. Cotton Patch 2000 says, have you ever got attacked as an Uber driver? I have two good stories to tell as far as that goes. Two good stories. Give me 1 second. Somebody share with us what the stock price is of SpaceX. I'm having technically challenged here, SPCE. Appreciate you saying it. So I want to answer that. I had a fight once break out 2 a.m. in the morning in Hollywood. A group outside of the car started fighting with the people getting into my car. And it went south, meaning guys came into the car clubbing my passengers. And let's just put it this way. I didn't get written up by my passengers because I got out of the car and I started clubbing people. And I think when you knock the biggest one out, that's when the other little ones get scared. You always go after the alpha male. So I'm not afraid to go after the alpha. And I probably hit this guy as harder than he's ever been hit before. So that little group that started fighting with the people in my car, getting into my car, into my SUV. I remember it was a Suburban that this took place 2 o'clock in the morning. It was down in Hollywood, Hollywood Boulevard, and what's the club called? A few little clubs around that one area. Anyway, they paid the price. And I just clubbed a few times. That's all I know. The rest is history. Got in the car, people got in the car, we left. Had another incident where a drunk passenger of mine on Sunset Boulevard was screaming at people on the outside. We were at the traffic light. 3 of them came up to the car, made threats. I had to stop the car, get out, and said, listen, I apologize for this stupid idiot here. And they just didn't want to accept the apology. They still wanted to keep on coming. And then they started picking a fight with me. And I said, listen, I'm the driver. This is my drunk passenger. Don't pick a fight with me. That's all I can say. If you want to make it personal with me, and I think they understood that I went into their space and they backed off. So that was that one, quickly taken care of. And then the one where I definitely would not pick to fight is I ended up somewhere out in drug corridor. Had a couple of gang members in the car, heavily armed with bags, guns, knives. 7, 8 police cars surround my car, hands up, guns drawn. But I knew from the moment that people were in my car, this was a group I would have never, ever energetically even picked a fight with. Not even physical, because I knew that they were heavily armed, that the wrong people in my car at the wrong time. They arrested the people. Police identified me as the driver. They had 3 phones. The guy had 3 phones on my center console. 3 phones. So more or less just hid the phones so the cops couldn't get the phones. Because I knew had they found out that I'd snitched on them, it would have ended very badly for me. So lucky to get out of that one. Lucky. But those are the only like the really 3 incidents, and a couple of little incidents where they put drunkards into place. One drunkard banging my door a few times, and I'm like, buddy, it's the last time you're going to hit my door, because otherwise you're going to end up in hospital. I promise you that. So the guy knew I was serious, and he backed off. And his girlfriend actually pulled him away. He was just drunk. And it's alcohol each and every single time. It's drugs or alcohol. And you have to lay you have to set the boundaries, right? But like when I see, when I see what happened the other day, that guy, that Travis, whatever his name was, that strangled the driver while he's driving in the middle of the traffic with a little 7-year-old. He was completely drunk again, right? The guy was drunk. The driver handled it well. The guy now is charged with child abuse charges and battery. Doesn't end up well for the drunk passenger if they want to pick up a fight. Doesn't end well. So moral of the story, I guess, be on high alert. Have all your senses out. If need be, unbuckle your seatbelt so you can get out of the car. But have your radar on and have all your senses on if you have a very intoxicated, confrontational passenger in your car. And those are people you can sense very quickly. They want to pick a fight. They want to provoke you. So it's best not to take the bait, but they will keep on pushing all your buttons. So for any newbie out there that's just started, if you want to do that graveyard shift, and I'm talking 11 o'clock, between 11 and 2 o'clock, the amount of alcohol in your blood will cause 5 times more problems. If you can stop by 11 p.m. and not pick up another passenger, you won't face most of the riffraff. But be prepared. If you want to work 11 p.m. till 2:33 a.m. shift, expect shit coming your way. An IQ boy says, my problem with riders are 99.9% women. I'd love to hear your stories. I really would. Yeah, I think I'm pretty well equipped in my car, but you know what? I don't get myself into those situations because the beauty is once you start building out your private clientele, once you have NBA players or actors or CEOs in your car, they can't really afford to screw up, right? Because the media is all over. So you tend to not have, do they party? Do they drink? Yes. But it's very low key. They're not really confrontational fighting people. It's the young crowd. It's the club crowd. It's the bar crowd. So when you're picking up at a bar, you know that your trip is going to that bar, that nightclub. You haven't picked the people up, but you know it's 12 o'clock, it's 1 o'clock, it's 2 o'clock, it's 3 o'clock. Expect trouble coming your way. Just expect it. James says, I had to identify a gangbanger to the cops for trying to use me to drive to take him to go after a rival gang that shot him and put him into the crutches he was in when I picked him up. Not a fun story, not a cool situation to be in. Riders who play stupid games win stupid prizes. I like it. Riders who play stupid games win stupid prizes. That's a fantastic one. Listen, again, with guns, South Africa had a gun. United States, I don't own a gun. You got to know the laws of the state with concealed weapons, etc., etc. Some states obviously not allowed. But I think if you are very good, have a good mouthpiece, or you're a good talker, if you can foresee a problem coming, if you have a cell phone, if you maybe have a bat or mace, big mace. Some other person the other day said like bear mace. I think you can get yourself out of 98% of the issues. Dustin is driving, says Tesla Trump. That's my saying. When the sun goes down, it turns into crazy town. I like that. That's so true. What time would you say, Dustin, does crazy town? If you look at the clock, that's 12 at night, right? Pumpkin time. I would say crazy town begins at about 11 o'clock when it's there. 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. That's crazy town. God forbid your app is taking you to a bar or to a club, which Dustin calls crazy town, because that's when things get crazy. They really do. And your bath bag, your vomiting bag, whatever you call it, have it all there. You might just have a bunch of drunk girls in the car, right? Right. They don't want to fight and bite you and scratch you, right? They're not like the brawler types, but very quick to throw up. Have those bags ready. Or you got a whole bunch of guys and testosterone and blah, blah, blah going on. No fun. James says, then late night it turns into Dustin Town. Crazy town turns into Dustin Town. Welcome to Dustin Town. Welcome to Dustin Town. So James says, if you see yourself heading towards Crazy Town Bar, cancel the ride. I can tell you there were many, many times I wish I had canceled. But for the most, I always followed my gut and my gut feel, your solar plexus, this feeling that arises from right there. Yeah, that wasn't good. I would drive off. I just felt something was coming. Dustin says, everyone stay safe out there. Congratulations. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate the very sweet message you wrote. Dustin, means a lot. I hope you got through that hurricane. I hope the power is on. I hope your kids are at ease. I hope there's minimal damage. You guys went through quite a scenario over there on the East Coast. Hopefully it's back to normal. And again, thank you. So yeah, I tie the knot in 23 days. Countdown continues. Be a gift. I'll drink a shot of vodka or a shot of tequila on you, James. 12 hours is a long time, though. Power. I mean, you realize how much you depend on the power, right? And the computers can't power up when you don't have internet. It gets a little frustrating. Cotton Patch 2000, kind of off subject, but what do you all think happened in Lebanon with that explosion? Intentional, accidental? I say accidental, and I'll tell you why. Because there's facts and evidence there that a Russian tanker, which was filled with ammonium nitrate 6 years ago, ran into troubles. It's all well documented, and it went into that port and offloaded right there. Offloaded thousands and thousands of tons of AN, ammonium nitrate. Now, when that Tommy Lee, whatever that guy was called, that blew up that building in Oklahoma, remember? He used ammonium nitrate. He used about 2 tons of it. Think of it this way: there were thousands and thousands of tons of AN in this warehouse, just stocked there. So the negligence is the oversight, that nobody really took care of that load of hundreds of thousands of pounds of ammonium nitrate. And ammonium nitrate doesn't go off if you light it. No. What happens with ammonium nitrate is, if it gets extremely hot, let's say 110, like Palm Springs 120, it gets really, really hot and it starts melting. And the gases that arise from the melting cause the ignition, and it all blows up. And this has happened a couple of times in history. This happened in Texas 40, 50 years ago. Blew up a shipping tanker. 400 people died in Houston. So there have been some massive explosions from ammonium nitrate in the last century. A couple of big ones. This, by far, in Lebanon was the big one. Now, did somebody go in there and trigger it, knowing that that was a ticking time bomb sitting right there? It's hard to say. It's hard to say. But if you look at the sequence of events, right, this stuff had been stockpiled there for 6 years. It was a massive accident waiting to happen. The port authorities knew about it. The companies knew about it. The Russians knew about it. Nobody did anything about that stockpile of AN. It got very hot, which it is right now, in Beirut, Lebanon. It went off. A few hundred people died. Thousands and thousands of people were displaced. Timothy McVeigh, that was that pig that killed so many people. He used ammonium nitrate. Mr. G's in the house. How are you? Good to see you. So, I mean, when that melts, that AN, and the gases explode, game over. And you just have to look at the footage on how big that bomb, that explosion was in Beirut. It was massive. First, it ignited. One explosion followed by a huge second explosion. You saw that. And it literally ripped a huge crater into the port. That's how severe it was. And it knocked out windows and buildings for miles and miles and miles. It was crazy. And we have not learned from our history. If you still go around the world, I am sure you will find stockpiles of ammonium nitrate. Now, maybe they are cooled. Maybe they are in cooling houses. This was in a hot warehouse, and the shit started melting. And the fumes started rising, and it went off. Did somebody trigger it? We'll never know. We'll never know. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I believe It was negligence, and I believe it was a big accident that was waiting to happen, never taken care of. And that regime right there that's running Lebanon right now, that president's out of power because it happened on his clock. He should have known. These are his people, his port authorities. He should have known. So you can't really shift the blame there as the Lebanese president. He's got to take the blame and say, we effed up big time. Right? Now, what do I have in the background? I've been pushing this several times. You guys can jump on here, cover.ai. The ones that I really want you to look at is this. Does this make sense for you as a gig worker? You can check that out, right? I've made several videos on this. A lot of people have signed up. I do think it's a great service. I really do. And whether you come in at entry level, $7, or whether you choose the second or third package, it's not a lot of money in the scheme of things, and it does a lot for you. It covers a lot of those unknowns, and you should look into it, right? I signed up with them. Congrats, James. So, hey guys, I'm going to keep it short. I'm already on 121. You guys keep me talking. I can talk all day long, but I'm getting thirsty, tired, hungry, and I got a couple of things to do. I got to cut red carpeting for all the speakers, the backboard of my ballet, red carpeting, mount all the speakers, the kick panels, all already cut, 6x9 holes cut out. Got to cover it all with red carpeting so it all fits in perfectly. And then I also have to install this red lighting. I'm putting red lighting underneath the dash bar, red lighting underneath the seats. So it's going to give that really pimpy Amsterdam brothel feel, right? Red light district, right? That's going to be my old classic, cruising through the streets with big 16-inch American Torque 2, American Racing wheels, pimped out, red lights, red light district type of look, a lot of chrome, a lot of bling. People here in town are going to love it. Going to love it. Call it a day, says Mike. I'm going to agree with Mike. I'm going to call it a day. Otherwise, I could go on and on and on till the sun goes down. On and on. Come say hi. Come say hi. Some little stranger has emerged on the horizon. Come say hi. They call her Professor. What do they call you?
TikTok Professor.
Professor TikTok. Hey, I'm going to ask you something. Are you worried that they're going to take TikTok away? What's the talk on the teenage? What's the talk on the street for kids?
People just think it's going to be deleted. No one really knows what's happening.
So people don't know what's happening. No. So when you don't know what's happening, oh my God, they could be taking my TikTok away, or they could be taking your videos away. Don't you go and check out other sites or set up elsewhere? What do you do?
Well, people have made like sort of knockoff versions of TikTok.
They have?
Yeah.
Like what? Name one.
It's called Likey. I don't know.
Likey? Do you like Likey?
I don't go on it.
Okay, so you're not going to set up a profile there?
No.
So you're going to stay on TikTok as long as you can. Hopefully they don't shut it down.
Yep.
You're going to keep on making your 60-second TikToks. Yep. And this girl can dance, dude. She dances in front of the mirror, or wherever she dances, she gets into a trance. This girl can dance. She can shake and boogie. This one. Sherelle says, hi, Danu.
Hello.
Mask. Yeah, we fam, yep. So we're like 1 foot apart. She's tested, I'm tested. We're all good here. Okay, cool. That's good to know. So, because I was just curious, like, what on earth is going to happen with TikTok? So I think you gave me a good answer.
And Microsoft might buy TikTok. So.
Oh, Bill Gates might come to the rescue. Microsoft. Yep. See how smart. How old are you?
I'm 11.
11, and she knows all of this. She said, like, okay, I'm going to sleep a little bit better at night. I think my TikToks are safe. Why? Because Microsoft might be buying TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to tell you something. If Microsoft buys it, you'll be fine.
Yep.
You'll be fine because they have attorneys. They'll protect their investment. You're good.
Yep.
So if Bill Gates comes in and rescues TikTok, I think all your videos are cool.
Yeah, hopefully.
Cool. Are you still on holiday?
Yeah.
School is supposed to start?
We don't know when yet.
Big question mark, right?
Starting online.
Online.
Mhm.
When does school go back online?
I don't know.
Big question mark, right?
Yep.
Cool.
2 weeks.
Who's that?
Mom. She came home.
Oh, Game of Thrones is here. Come over. Okay, we're gonna bring her in on the feed. People want to say congratulations, I guess.
Oh no.
Come.
I know.
Just leave your dragon behind. She's been flying around on her dragon,
Oh, I'm all.
the mother of dragons. She says she's all.
I'm all not nice. Hi.
So hello. Cool. How are you?
Good.
Did you have a good day at work? That's
I
all right.
did.
You don't have to. You don't have to be pretty for live feeds.
Okay.
Good. Mwah.
Mwah.
Bye. James says Ray William Johnson is an R-rated comic from the early YouTube days. Did not know that. Did not know that. Good to know. All right, my friends, we're out of here. 90 minutes later. Have a great one. Stay safe, everyone. Check out the website, Kover, KOVER.ai. Cotton Patch says, what a fox. Yeah, they foxy and Luxy. Durka. Austin, Texas, in the house. Great city. What do you say, Durka? He says, hey, Prof, I'm from Austin. Still not sure I want to get back out after it yet. So what I would do is I would get into the Facebook pages of Uber and Lyft. They have communities. I would read, what's going on there. I'm with you. I agree. I personally would not go out there and get behind an Uber and a Lyft steering wheel. Some people are. They've got their petitions on. They've got their masks on. They clean it down. They're doing a great job, right? They're doing everything for them and for their passengers. But I hear you. I feel you. I'm with you, Durka. I am not quite there yet mentally. Privates here and there, I will only do. Why? Because I completely know and understand my clients. Okay, so Javier Becerra. Today we're in court seeking to halt Uber and Lyft's misclassifications of workers. While litigation continues, Uber and Lyft are profiting off their workers' labor while trying to force taxpayers to foot the bill for worker protections. That's not the way we do business in California. Then he puts a graph there, which is pretty cool. It says with Uber, market capitalization, $53 billion, social safety net contribution for drivers, $0. With Lyft, he writes, market capitalization, $13 billion. Social safety net contributions for drivers, $0. That is a very, very, very powerful graph. It comes to me from the 562 who sent it to me. I know who this is. Who sent it to me? Someone that really sends me a lot. It's Triss. Triss always sends me great information. Thank you, Triss. I appreciate that. It's Moose is in the house. Put the sauce in the chat, please. Which sauce? Like the tomato sauce? Which sauce? Javier Becerra, do you want me to do a video on this one? Did you want me to do a video? Did you want me to do a video on this one? Is that correct? It's Moose. Just curious what sauce. What? Okay, cool. I hear you. I follow you. And yes, that's a really, really good video. It's a short video, a powerful video. it speaks volumes. So I would support that. I think that's a great idea. It's moves. At Cotton Patch 2000, you should do a video on self-defense moves from the driver's seat when being attacked from behind. That's actually pretty cool. And I could bring one or two really cool candidates that could definitely teach us a lot in that field. But yes, that's a really, really, really good video. It could be shot inside the video. 3 people, driver, I'd be in the front, passenger behind me, and 1 videographer. It would be something really cool for Dustin or I just to go through but there's some really, really good steps if you are in a seatbelt and how to protect yourself in a car. There's some really, really, really good material out there that we could duplicate. And if just one person implemented, probably could save a life. So I like that. I like that a lot. I'll buy a vodka shot. Cool. I won't spend any money. I'll just buy one little shot, a tiny little shot. Tequila shot. James, very kind of you. Very, very kind of you. Guys, thank you. 91 minutes of fun. I had fun. I appreciate you. Movie had seats that shock people. Whoa. Imagine you had control over that back seat and it had built-in shocking system. Shut up, or otherwise I'll push this button. Or we need that James Bond eject seat. Even better. Bye, problem gone. Ejected on the highway. James Bond style. Love you guys. Gonna leave you. We're gonna see you soon. Stay safe out there. Wear the mask. Social distance. Protect your kids. Whatever you have to do to get through this. Thumbs up, everybody, thumbs up. Thank you. You guys rock. Made the end of my day. All of you. Everyone, every person that was in here today made my day. Let's light up the room with some emojis. Emoji time. Let's get some nice color in here. Let's see. Let's do a couple of dabs. One of these, one of these, one of these. Boom. I'll take a picture. You guys could light it up for me so I could set the frequency. Light it up, light it up, light it up. Emoji time. Emoji, there's a car. Cotton Patch has got a car, one little single car. It's moves as good. He's hitting us. We need 50 of those, guys. Light it up. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We need 40 more. Cotton Patch has got one. We got 11 so far. Light it up, light it up, light it up. There we go. I see champagne. I see cake. 3D glasses. Light it up, light it up, light it up. You guys rock. And that's for you. Have a good one, my friends. Stay safe until we meet in this live chat room again. Tomorrow's Friday. Happy Friday, happy weekend, and then we'll be back with Our House Mondays where gig workers meet and share. Your room on Monday. Tesla Tom, thank you for all the great stories. Mike Ozra, Cotton Patch, it's Moose, Tris, all of you. James, every single one, you rock. Thank you for getting me through 94 minutes.